Most Canadians think claiming CPP is one decision. It isn't. In fact, almost everyone walks into this decision asking the exact same question. It turns out that's the wrong question. By the end of this video, you'll know the three things that actually determine what CPP does for the rest of your life. Get them right, and CPP quietly becomes one of the strongest parts of your retirement. Get them wrong, and you could be leaving tens of thousands of dollars behind without ever realizing it happened. Here's the one most people already sort of know about, even if they underestimate it. Your claiming age doesn't just shift a few dollars around, it permanently locks in your monthly amount for the rest of your life. Coin at 60, and your pension is 36% lower than it would be at 65. Wait until 70, and it's 42% higher. Put those two numbers side by side, and something surprising happens. For the exact same underlying pension, someone who waits until 70 ends up with more than double the monthly income of someone who claimed at 60. Not a little more than double. So does that mean everyone should just wait until 70? Not necessarily. And that's exactly where most advice oversimplifies this. Picture two people. Same job, same CPP contribution history. One has a health condition that's shortened their expected lifespan. The other is healthy, with a family history of living well into their 90s. For one of them, taking the money sooner is the obvious move. For the other, waiting could mean meaningfully more lifetime income. Same CPP entitlement. Two completely different right answers. That's decision one. Here's decision two, and this is the one that surprises almost everyone, even people who think they've already done their CPP homework. Most Canadians assume that once they turn 65, their CPP number is basically locked in. Whatever Service Canada calculated, that's it forever. It isn't. In fact, your CPP amount can still be quietly improving in the background, even if you don't realize it, even if you're not doing anything differently. Here's how. CPP is built from your entire career's worth of earnings, and buried in that calculation are protections most people never learn about. Up to roughly 8 of your lowest earning years can automatically be excluded. Years spent raising young children can be protected too. But here's the one that catches almost everyone off guard. If you keep working past 65 and you haven't started CPP yet, Service Canada can take those newer, higher-earning years and use them to quietly replace some of your lowest-earning years from decades ago, if doing so increases your pension. Which means two people with the exact same career, the exact same salary history, can end up with different CPP amounts purely because one of them worked a few extra years before claiming, and one of them didn't. Your number isn't fixed the day you turn 65. It's still capable of moving, right now, based on decisions you may not even realize matter. So that's two. Age and what you've actually earned. Here's the third, and it's the one that changes the entire comparison. Picture two retirees. Same CPP amount, same age when they claimed. One of them ends up with noticeably more spending money than the other, every single month. Same CPP, different outcome. Why? Because CPP was never designed to be evaluated on its own. CPP is taxable income. So the year you start it and everything else you're earning that same year determines how much of it you actually keep. For one of these two retirees, that CPP income stacks on top of other income and pushes them into range of the OAS recovery tax, quietly clawing back some of their old age security. For the other, it works differently. If their income is lower, extra CPP can instead reduce what they receive from the guaranteed income supplement. And here's one more twist. If either of them keeps working after starting CPP, those contributions don't just vanish. They can generate a brand new benefit on top of their regular CPP, paid every year for life. Same CPP check, completely different real-world result once tax and other benefits are factored in. Which brings all three of these together. Most people walk into this decision asking one question: when should I turn CPP on? That was always the wrong question, because it assumes CPP is one simple switch. It's actually three decisions stacked on top of each other: what age you claim, what you've actually earned, and whether every protection that applies to you has already been used, and what that income does to the rest of your retirement once taxes and other benefits are factored in. Before today, CPP looked like one decision. Now you know it was always three.